Hello, everybody, and welcome. And today, in this interview, I'm joined by Nick from Inspire Change Coaching, who is a personal development coach based in the United Kingdom. I've when I was preparing my notes for this interview, I wanted to talk a lot about what Nick does, but I'm not going to do that. I want him to introduce himself. My name is Kuda, and welcome, Nick. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you, Kuda. Thank you very much. And yes, that's great to see you again.
Absolutely. So if you're looking for a personal development journey, to take your personal development journey to the next level, you don't want to miss what Nick has to say. So Nick, let me fire out my first question to you. Can you please tell us a little bit about yourself and your involvement in personal development so that our guests can get to know who Nick is and what he does? Probably, yeah, if you can start off with
Yeah,
that.
absolutely. So as you know, Kuda, I'm a personal development coach. And for me, what that means is just it's similar to life coaching in a sense. But what also I do is I also focus on eliminating negative emotions, limiting beliefs, any negative emotions people have, and helping people achieve those goals. So for me, people always come to me and they say to me, I want to be the best version of myself. And I always say, well, let's make you a superhuman. Let's make you a superhuman. People say, well, can you make me Captain America? I mean, sure. I mean, do you want to be Captain America? But really, for me, what that means is it's about creating that best version of yourself. Eliminating all the negative emotions you have that are
Mhm.
holding you back in life and helping you to get where you need to be.
Absolutely. Yeah. So now tell me something. What inspired you to focus on personal development, and how is your background influenced your coaching approach?
Yeah. So I've always been interested in personal development, the human psyche. It's always fascinated me. Ever since I was a little kid, I've been interested in learning about all these different aspects of the brain, how it works, and how it really we can become better. So that's really always fascinated me. And just looking at these facts, it's like, for example, typically we have around 70,000 thoughts per day. We have around 70,000 thoughts per day. And most of those thoughts actually are actually, in fact, the same as the day before. So, but what I like to do is because what people come to me, they say, Nick, I want to be the best version of myself. I want to actually eliminate those negative thoughts. What fascinates me is actually digging into the psyche of people and actually creating those positive habits, how they can change those same thought process you have in life so that
Mhm.
you can become that person which you want to be. So that's always fascinated me, the human psyche and just creating people and the vision they have about themselves.
Oh, absolutely. Now, you mentioned about life coaching and personal development. So, I want to ask the difference between the two. How do you differentiate the two between personal development and, or I would say, what are the roles of a personal development coach different with the roles of a life coach?
Essentially, it's very comparable in a sense. Life coaching focuses more on the individual's goals and where they want to be. And while what I do is could be comparable to a life coach, what I also use other techniques such as NLP, hypnotherapy, to help eliminate those individuals' negative emotions, limiting beliefs, to help them get where they need to be. So what I do is we work on those goals, those negative emotions. We dig out the negative emotions they have, and we'll say, okay, in 6 months' time, I want to be here. Well, how do you get there? Well, that's what we do. We work on eliminating those negative emotions, whether it's
Mhm.
through again NLP, hypnotherapy, or anything else, and just getting them motivated, getting them motivated so they believe where they can get where they need to be. So that's what I like to do. I love to do that, to focus on getting them where they need to be.
Absolutely. So now, my next question is kind of a two-in-one question.
Okay.
Yeah, probably. I'll try to simplify that question. So now, if you can give maybe five different types of people who would benefit working with a personal development coach, probably some certain personality traits or personality types or life situations that are suitable for coaching. So what I'm trying to say is that who is the person who should say, you know what, I think I need a personal development coach? Are there some life situations that are suited for that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, I honestly believe that everyone could, benefit from some form of coaching. Anyone can benefit from some form of coaching. So, but typically the type of people that come to me are people that could be struggling to see where their future is. They want to do better in life, but actually they don't know how to get there. So, but in terms of the people that may benefit from it, it could be anyone that's struggling with. It could be whether they're struggling with anger, sadness, fear, hurt, guilt, be any of these people that are struggling with these emotions and really helping them, eliminate them to get where they need to be. So it doesn't matter whether you're, a businessman or whether you're self-employed or whatever. It doesn't matter. Anyone. I believe that everyone can benefit from some form of coaching because really now most people have some
Mhm.
type of therapist or coach to help them get where they need to be.
Absolutely. So now, talking of the help that you give to people, in terms of personal development, you mentioned in the previous statements you spoke about like having someone for 6 months or saying, okay, we've reached the 6 months, we've reached our goals and things like that. How long should a personal development coaching program last for someone to start seeing results? And probably you could talk about the general part of that, and then you could talk about the coaching programs that you offer, like, okay, your coaching program lasts for this long and why you've made it that long. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, that's really interesting because typically the type of people that come to me, Kuda, they're very different. They could be from any walks of life,
Mm-hmm.
and the type of goals which they want to achieve. Again, it could be extremely different from another person. So if somebody comes to me and says, "Actually, Nick, actually, I just want a clearer vision of my future.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually struggling in life. I don't have a clear vision of my future." Then what I might do is I might maybe use some trance techniques to help them get a clear path of their future so they can see where they want to be. So maybe, or maybe just a little bit of motivation. If somebody comes to me and says, Nick, I'm feeling unmotivated in life. I just want to be more enthusiastic and just want to actually feel better in life, a little pickup, then maybe that would just make it could typically be maybe a few sessions. So that's not a problem. But if you come to me and then say, Nick, well, I want to be a millionaire. I want to be a
Uh-huh.
millionaire, but the problem is I don't know how to get there, then we've got a lot more work to do. It's probably going to take a little bit more than a few sessions to get there. But that's the beauty of what I do, Kuda. It's so varied. It's so
Okay,
varied in actually the people that come to me because I'm
absolutely.
working with again so many different ranges of people. I've worked with some people where it's just a few sessions and they feel brand new. They just wanted a clear vision, feel more motivated. And then there's other
Absolutely.
people that actually they benefit from actually weekly sessions for a little bit more prolonged period. So again, it really depends on each individual and their goals.
Absolutely. So now, let's talk about. So I've met Nick at a networking event here in United Kingdom, and he was actually open-minded. I love that, and I spoke to him that, you know what, Nick, I'm starting a podcast, and I'm just in my early stages. I said, you know what, I can be a guest on your show, and thank you so much for agreeing. So now, my question for you um, is there significant demand of personal development coaching in the UK, and how has it evolved over time? So looking at a time from when you started and then until now, do you see a gradual growth of a demand in personal development? And yeah, if you can comment on that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, for me, I definitely noticed that. And if we just look back, if we rewind time, 30 years ago, for example,
Yeah.
there was a massive stigma, this massive stigma around, coaching, therapy among, especially essentially men, because there was massive stigma. Actually, it was almost kind of a taboo for men to get therapy because they were seen as weak. So
Mhm.
that was just like 20, 30 years ago. But now, if you look at the times now, it's people actually they love that. They love self-development, personal development, and they understand the benefits that actually therapy and coaching can actually provide for them. And I think that stigma, which we were talking about, it's definitely wearing off now because so many people understand the benefits. Again, people in business, people in senior roles, they have coaches now. So there's definitely that stigma is wearing off. But I think also, I think lockdown as well played a big role in it. Let's be honest,
Yeah, yeah,
because for me, for lockdown, I was seeing a lot of people face to face. I've seen a lot of people face to face, and when lockdown happened, I think it's the same for everybody. When
yeah,
lockdown happened, I realized that actually, you know what? I don't need to see people face to face to help them because I can just jump on a video call with them and just see them, the techniques which I employ. I can just do that on videos. So now it's a lot more accessible as well because people appreciate that actually you don't need to drive to 2 or 3 hours just to get coaching or therapy. There's so many good coaches online, therapists online now that actually you can just do it without actually stepping outside your house. And I think that's the day and age which we live in. That is it's
yeah.
so good and it's so accessible now.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, thank you for sharing that. A lot of people they can access anything that they want online, and yeah, it's pretty much easier that way. So now, to some people that are listening to this interview or podcast, I would say some people may have interest on becoming a personal development coach in UK, and tell me about your story. Probably how you became one, or maybe you can answer the question in saying how to become a personal coach if someone wants to take that as a career path. What are the steps that they need to take?
That's a good question. And really, I would say that really what need to start with, you need to start with that passion. Where because if you don't have that passion, then really you're just doing it for a job. When any type of personal development, you need to go in there with the goal of actually I want to help myself, I want to help individuals as well. So first of all, you need that passion to actually help people and be really passionate about it.
Mhm.
And I mean, for me, I honestly believe that there's no one type of therapy that will work for everybody. Because what works for you doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for me.
Yeah,
So that's why these techniques, this therapy, are so unique that actually, and so everybody's so different that actually, this you could actually become any different type of coach. So, for example, if you want to become a NLP coach, and obviously go and study NLP. If you want to
yeah,
become hypnotherapy, then go and do that. But for me, it's so diverse in that sense. But for me, it was really just having that passion from when I was younger, and then just really just growing, learning. Studying. I went to when I was at university, and then really just growing from there. I was just every book I could find, I would pick it up and read it, and
yeah.
then
Hmm.
just really just finding courses I could learn. I started learning NLP, hypnotherapy, and then all these other techniques. So you find out what motivates you, find out what motivates you, and then use that. Keep growing that, and create, and then most importantly, just have that passion for it. Keep building that passion, and then just again build your network, and
Hmm.
then just keep going from there. Because find out what really resonates with you, and just keep going with it.
Yeah, absolutely. So now let's talk of, I know I may have asked this question or we have actually discussed about this question, but let us talk about the areas of life where personal development coaching help with. So probably if I can give you a very good example, you could say if you are a business person, personal development coaching is going to help you to close more sales in this way. Or if you're struggling in a relationship, if you're a family person. So if you could give real life examples based on your experience and some of your coaching clients that you've actually helped. So which specific areas of life does personal development coach help with?
Yeah, and as you said, there's so many different areas of life which it can help with, and I've definitely found that because two of my sessions are the same, and I'm coaching people in business,
Mhm.
and a lot of the techniques which I use and the limiting beliefs which I actually use to eliminate, it can help all areas of their life. Because, for example, if they've got a limiting belief about themselves in business, And actually, maybe it's not just the business that's actually the bigger issue. Maybe there's a bigger issue there. So by eliminating these limiting beliefs which they have in one area, it can help in all different areas in their life as well. It could be whether business and their relationships and their confidence about themselves, all these different areas of life. It could be connected.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, if somebody comes to me and says, "Oh, well, I'm feeling depressed," well, where's the root cause? Where's the root cause? And then, how is it affecting you? Because if it's more than likely, if it's affecting you in your relationships, then it's probably also going to be affecting you in other areas of your life as well, such as business and your friendships and everything else. So people come to me and say, I'm not feeling great. I need to be more motivated. Well, okay, let's get you motivated. Or they say, Nick, I don't believe I'm worthy enough. Okay, let's work on being worthy. Again, all these aspects, if there are any limiting beliefs, I believe that they will be affecting most areas of your life. And it will continue to grow until you eliminate them.
Yeah, absolutely. So now, what are some of the common mistakes that people make when it comes to personal development? Probably, I would say someone who doesn't go through personal development, what sort of mistakes do they continue to make if they don't take personal development coaching?
I think the main issue people have is that it's a sense of living in the past and their
Mhm.
failures. And that's a
Yeah,
sense of familiarity breeding contempt. So what you have there is that people actually they're failed in the past, so they're now living in the past because they don't think that actually they can succeed in the future. Or maybe
absolutely.
actually, for example, if people come to me and say, "Oh, I want to start a business, but
Mhm.
I've tried businesses in the past, but they didn't work." Well, maybe you didn't stick at it long enough. Because again, when familiarity breeds contempt in that way, when you're building a
Mhm.
business or anything that's extremely hard, you're going to go through a point, and it could be a long point, a phase where
Mhm.
they're going to get tough. Things are going to get tough, and you might not see growth straight away. But the issue is, you're going to have to stick with it. You're going to have to stick with it and actually continue down that road until you see the results. So keep believing that you can do it, and
Mhm.
until you see the results. That may take longer than you thought, but if you keep going on, keep sticking with it, then you'll know that you can get there and just keep believing in yourself. But a lot of people, they will give up. A lot of people give up because of their past results, past failures.
Yeah,
So you need to create that new mindset that actually growth comes by actually persevering. So
perseverance. I love
sticking
that.
at it, and
Yeah.
then that's the only way of success of actually persevering. Because if it was easy, everyone would do it.
If it was easy, everyone would do it. Absolutely. So now let's talk about your approach when it comes to feedback and accountability. How do you, if you come across situations whereby Kuda comes to you and say, Nick, I want to do personal development coaching, and then you give them the first exercise, and you kind of sense that this person is now, getting demotivated. They're no longer staying on track.
Yeah,
Can you just comment on that in terms of your feedback and your accountability model
yeah,
to your clients so that they can get to their goals?
definitely. So typically with my sessions, that around the first few sessions, what I'll do with individuals is I'll start working on creating a timeline with them, going back to their past, and also helping them see their future. So take them into their future and see their subconscious concepts of their future.
Yeah,
And then when they see that, then what I'll do then, we'll then work on creating these goals. We create these goals. It could be 1 month goals, 2 month goals, 3 month goals.
yeah,
And then after that, we put it in stone. We say, look, this is what we're going to do, and here's how we're going to get there. Now, although I wouldn't say I wouldn't call myself an accountability coach. There is accountability because
okay,
what you're doing, the principles which I hold is actually that you have to be 100% accountable for yourself. Because if you're
absolutely.
not, then you're wasting your time. So then, session by session, what we'll do is we'll go through that. We'll come back and we'll check on the progress. And again, just keeping them motivated through
Hmm.
these techniques, helping them see their future and understanding when you actually see this, you're consistent and you persevere and you're staying on track, this is what you get. This is how good it feels. But if
Yeah.
you're falling back, then you have to be accountable. And accountability could be actually, I'm not making progress. So I need to get back on track. And that's what I need to do. I need to focus and look at their mindset and say, where are they failing? Where are they failing now? If they're coming to me, then it means that they want to talk to me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change that mindset and I'm going to actually make sure that they stay accountable for themselves.
Absolutely. So now we're almost coming to the end of our interview, and I know I've been asking you a couple of questions, and so if there is anything that you want to share with our guests that you feel like, hey, you could have asked me this question, what could that be? So this is an open question where I'm not going to ask you anything, but you just share some of the important information that you want to share with the audience.
I would just say that if anyone out there is struggling, because again we talked about that stigma, and although that's faded now, that stigma in the world is fading now. A lot of people out there they're still struggling, and they don't feel like they can reach out. They feel ashamed. Lots of people feel ashamed by their actions or their thoughts. So I would just say that if you are struggling, then just reach out to anybody. It could be me, it could be a friend, it could be a family member. Just reach out and just keep growing, because if you're trying to deal with everything on your own, it's a very dark place. It's a very dark and lonely place, and you're not going to see the light at the end of the tunnel. But if you have another person's point of view, then what that will do is that will help you actually see actually possibilities in your life that actually I can get out of this. Don't try to deal with everything on your own. Reach out to friends, family, whatever it is, coaches, and just actually keep growing and realize that actually is there anything you feel like you want to do, then what's stopping you? Go and do it, because that's
Absolutely.
definitely what I have found. If people are struggling, don't try to do it on your own. No man is an island. Keep going. And we all go through hardships in life, me, you, everybody. And just share that, again, and that will help you grow.
Absolutely. So now, my final question for you is that can you please tell us more about your specific coaching program and what you offer, and the set of your services, so that our audience can get to know about them, and then lastly, probably you could share how people can get in touch with you and learn more about your services, and maybe if I didn't ask any question, they can reach out to you, and yeah, and you give them answers.
Yeah. So my coaching is an integrated model. So what I do is when people come to me and they say, "Oh, Nick, I want to start sessions." Okay, so what I'll do typically first, I will arrange a call with them,
Okay.
and it could be a free 30-minute call, and decide where they are at the moment and what coaching will benefit them. So I'll tell them about my services, and again, my services one-to-one coaching. Just me and another person, and then again, it could be whether we're working on using techniques such as hypnotherapy, or just working on motivation. I integrate all of these techniques into my coaching to help people really become that best version of themselves. And again, if they want to reach out, then they can. They can go to my website, which is inspiredchangecoaching.co.uk. Just go there, and then you'll see all the techniques which I use there as well. And then that's the way to do it. That's the way to get started, just by reaching out, and really, just having that momentum and actually having that confidence to get started.
Absolutely. So thank you so much for sharing all these amazing nuggets. And I want to thank you so much for saying yes to feature on one of my first podcasts in UK. And I really appreciate that. So if you can again repeat your website name. Yeah, I didn't get that right. If you can repeat that, and then
Right.
yeah.
It's inspiredchangecoaching.co.uk.
Oh, okay, that's amazing. Any last words for our audience?
No, just have a great day, and just thank you for having me, Kuda.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Nick. It was an amazing session.